Hey guys, today I have something really special for you. Now, you might have heard of the new Disney Plus short, 22 versus Earth. This short is absolutely adorable, absolutely hilarious, and gives us 5 minutes of diving into the backstory, a little bit of the backstory of Soul Number 22, voiced by Tina Fey. Now, this short is the directorial debut from Kevin Nolting, and guess what? I got to sit down and talk to him. I learned so much about this short. We talked about Easter eggs, we talked about where the idea came from, and so much more. So I really hope you guys enjoy this interview. Before we get to it, I'd love it if you take 1 second and hit that subscribe button. But yeah, let's see my interview with Kevin. Hey, Tessa from Mama's Geeky here. Thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel. Kevin, hi. Thank you so much for taking the time today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. I loved this short. It was so much fun. I can't believe I had so much fun in 5 minutes.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. I'm curious, how did this come about? Because it feels almost like something that could have been stuck into Soul, but I do like having it separate as well.
That's good observation because it came about, we traditionally do one of these shorts attached to the feature. We used to do it for the DVD and we don't always do it, but it came up toward the end of the movie. We start talking ideas about these shorts. And this was a subject that came up a lot as we were making Soul. In Soul, we explore Joe's life in great detail. And we were always talking about and joking about what made 22 the way she is. We had, we would just be in conversation coming up, just coming up with ideas. And as we were finishing Soul and this came up, it just seemed like a logical place to go.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's great. So what was it like to get back into the groove of Soul and again with Tina and everybody else?
For me, I didn't have to get back because I was still finishing editing. And so we started in February 2020 on the short while we were maybe halfway through animation on the feature. So it's sort of the way we timed it out production-wise to fit in with Pixar's production schedule. As departments wrapped off the feature, we would grab people as we could, who were fresh with the movie, but a little bit tired from the feature. And as departments wrapped, we would just time our production schedule to use them for a few weeks before they went off on vacation.
Well, that's good. It makes it easier then. So did you ever have to deal with the effects of the pandemic? Did that really affect this or not much?
Yeah, greatly, because we had only done maybe 2 storyboard versions of the short before the pandemic hit. So we were the first production of Pixar that had to work from home. And I got to say, my crew was just absolutely amazing because most of them are younger and have young kids. And they had to just pack up, on March 16th or whatever it was, and go home and get their internet up to speed. And their kids are home from school and, dealing with.
I know.
And they're tired from working on a feature. It was pretty,
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, it's so great to dive more into 22. And I know there's a lot of people out there that really love her. So why do you think people connect so much to her?
I have this theory that Joe Gardner is a type of person that, and a lot like Pete Docter actually, who knew what he wanted to do with his life from a young age. He's on this set path. And then there's the rest of us who sort of go through life wondering what am I about? What's my purpose? And I think she speaks to sort of that segment of the population.
Can you talk a little bit about the contrast between those innocent souls and 22?
I mean, that to me that's what I like most about the short, about doing it, is I just love that contrast of the complete innocent with the cynical, man. There's so much you can do there,
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it could have kept going on and on, and it was just so great. Now, when she came up with that name, Apocalypse, how long did it take you guys to come up with that? And I love that acronym.
So Josh's original script, it was Chaos, and my reaction I loved, but my reaction to it was, having grown up on one of my favorite TV shows was Get Smart. I don't know if you know that show or remember it, but I thought people would associate with that. So we with our story people, Reg and Hayne, we sort of sat around and brainstormed ideas. And then coincidentally, Apocalypse came up, and Apocalypse Now happens to be one of my favorite movies. So, it's like,
I did love how they said that. Apocalypse Now. Oh man, it's so cute. So what is your spark? What would you say is your spark?
Oh, I guess it turned out to be film editing after all, didn't it? It took a while to figure that out, but eventually I landed on that.
So this is your directorial debut. So you went from the editing to directing. Did you ever see yourself in that role with Pixar?
Yeah, not with Pixar necessarily. I've dabbled in it with live action shorts, just very informal things, very no budget, friends making movies together. So I have gone that direction before and had a desire to. I didn't expect to at Pixar, but it's a perfect extension of what I do at Pixar. So it wasn't a huge jump to get into it.
This feels like something that could continue on and on. Like, I feel like we could see more blips of her connecting with other little innocent souls. So is it something you would have ever think about doing? Like maybe a little Disney Plus, several different shorts for them?
I would think about it. I don't know. I don't know what the future holds for things like this, but I see a lot of potential there myself.
In Soul, 22 deals with all these different mentors, and no one can really inspire her. If you could have one mentor, alive, dead, past, present, who would it be?
Oh man, for her, that's a good question. I mean, in my mind, I can see a series of, I would love to hear an extended conversation between her and a mentor, whoever it is, and just get that back and forth. I think that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, that could be another, there you go. There's another whole series right there with her. So how long did this take then? If you started during Soul, how long was the whole entire process?
So I think we started in February, March of 2020, and we mixed at Skywalker Ranch in September, mid-September. So what's that, about 6 months, I guess.
That feels like such a long time for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Short.
Well, it's actually shorter than usual, so.
Is it really? How long is a normal production of a short?
Well, it's hard to say in actual production days because a lot of times with the shorts, we have to fit into the feature schedule, and the production pipeline at Pixar, is very complex, and there's a lot of moving parts, and you sort of have, with a short, you have to find those little gaps in different departments. Sometimes a short will sort of start up and then have to, hold off for a few months till, say, animation becomes available. Mm-hmm. In my case, because we were following a production, we just slipped right. We just basically extended, the production schedule on these departments by a few weeks before they completely wrapped. So we got very lucky that way.
Pixar is very much known for their Easter eggs. And I know, again, this is only 5 minutes long, but are there any Easter eggs that fans can look out for from other Pixars?
Not from other Pixars. I dropped a couple camera Easter eggs in from Apocalypse Now, and that's about all I know about. There could be others, actually, but even I don't know.
Well, I know in 5 minutes, it's hard to squeeze all that stuff in now. How was it coming up with the different names of all the, like, I feel like there could have been so many different names between macaroni and all of those. So was there a lot of them and you guys narrowed it down to those 5?
Yeah, there were well, initially Josh had he had a couple different ideas for these, and sometimes for legal reasons or what, things don't work out, but and so we sat around one day, all of us, and just came up, and especially people with young kids, something that would be appealing to kids. And I got Zimmy in there as a line from a Bob Dylan song, and things like it was just that people came up with stuff. And
well, my girls loved it. They were like, macaroni's my favorite.
Oh, cool.
Because they love pasta, so I guess macaroni's
my favorite.
Well,
that's actually I think that came from Lourdes. Her kids, somebody's kids love macaroni and cheese, and that wasn't natural.
What overall message do you hope that, I know it's only 5 minutes, but that people kind of take away from the short?
When I go into it, I just hope it brings a little buoyancy in these times, and people walk away thinking about something. That's, I don't have any big message to say, but
Yeah, it's hilarious. It's fun. It's adorable. It gets you to know a little bit more about 22, who we all love, even though she's a little bit of a cynic. I think maybe there's a cynic in all of us.
Exactly. There's a good message. Embrace your cynicism.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. Embrace it. Thank you so much for taking the time today, Kevin. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed that interview. 22 versus Earth comes to Disney Plus on April 30th. This is one you don't want to miss. Trust me, it's an absolute blast. It's something that really holds up. You can watch it time and time and time again. And it even kind of makes Soul just a little bit better. Gives you a little bit more insight into 22. Thanks for taking the time to watch this, guys. Be sure to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more videos like this one. Follow me over on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at Mama's Geeky over there. MAMASGEEKY. Thanks for taking the time, guys. Thank you so much to all of my monetary supporters, my members here on YouTube, as well as my patrons. If you haven't joined yet, please consider doing so. We have some really awesome perks, including a monthly Zoom meeting where we get to talk face to face. Thank you again to everyone who supports me.